amaze you.
Thank you.
Stop on your bed.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad to be here this evening. All right. FWC's Northeast Field Lab responds to recoveries, necropsies, and rescues for manatees, dolphins, and whales, and our lab is located at the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. And today I'm going to share with you a little bit about our responding to marine mammals in our St. Johns River, and hopefully you'll learn a little something as well. Now, many people think the job of a marine mammal biologist is glamorous, but we deal with more dead animals than live. We just recently had a large dolphin die-off, and in this photo on the right, we have a former biologist assessing bones from a watercraft-struck manatee at our field island. Now, another verification that it's not a glamorous job is we see a manatee tidally stranded in mud. And this was in Dunn's Creek off of the St. Johns River. She's circled in red here. This animal, we stood by, monitored her until the tide came in, and she swam out on her own into deeper water. But for most manatee rescues, we utilize our specially designed rescue boat where the engine is up front, the transom board comes out, and we have a large net to encompass the animal and pull it aboard. Now, the number of people needed to rescue a manatee varies depending on the size of the manatee. With our animal aboard, we bring it to the nearest boat ramp. It is then stretchered into our rescue truck where we have nice foam pads and additional response equipment if needed, and a pool we can inflate. Now, the one thing we do have to be cautious of is that the small door between the back and the front is closed because we did have a manatee try to drive once on us. And this is Dana, who makes our truck look small because she weighs over 2,380 pounds. She was so large that our rescue team of 12 had difficulties, and I had to call the fire department to assist us. I said, you know what, it's not a cat in a tree, but can you please help us? And they were grateful. So once we have the animal in hand, we do take it to one of 3 critical care facilities in the state of Florida. So this is either Orlando's SeaWorld, Tampa's Lowry Park Zoo, or the Miami Sea Aquarium. But I'm really excited to share with you that the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens is building manatee critical care, and that should be open early next year. Yay! Thank you. And here we have one of a common call that we get is for the manatee mating herd. So this is where the larger female has a lot of males surrounding her. It could be several to many. They make a lot of commotion in the water, so we get a lot of calls about them. This was at Metro Park. But what's funny is the call that typically comes in is due to the size difference, there's a mom manatee and all the babies are trying to save it. Not the case, not at all. So yes, mating herds. Get a lot of calls. So females do have a way to cope, and here we have at Ready Point where we have a female that was done with it and beached herself in order to avoid the males. Then behind her, male, male, male. Yes. Well, it looked like folks were watering and growing manatees in their backyard. It was an interesting sight to arrive to. But with assistance from the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens and Jacksonville University, we successfully stretchered the animals back to the St. Johns River so they can take off into the distance. You can see one animal didn't want to cooperate as well, but it was a success as we watched them swim out into the sunset. So we appreciate the collaboration with other agencies and organizations. It's a big part. Here we have an individual from Sea to Shore Alliance monitoring a tagged manatee. It has a satellite tracker that is following it. You can see the little nose of the manatee. And we do ask folks when you see these tags to give us a call. What's funny is even though it says do not remove, we get people that remove the tags. Well, it's a tracker. We can find you with that tag. So here we have a manatee with a buoy and a tracking device, a VHF. So we were able to respond to this animal and track it after we saw it was entangled and successfully remove the entanglement. And there is a quick release in the event the animal does get snagged on something. Talking about things in the water, how about an aerobie frisbee that we found around a dolphin's neck? So it's just something to keep in mind that we have to be mindful of what goes into our rivers. Fortunately, with multiple agencies, we were able to rescue and remove the frisbee, and that was near Mill Cove. But it is people like you that make a difference for these animals. This dolphin was near Talleyrand when an individual saw it struggling in the water, an hour later still struggling, so it called our FWC hotline, that is the person, not the dolphin, called our hotline, and we found a dolphin lateral trying to breathe. So with JSO and our law enforcement, we responded and were able to free the dolphin that was entangled in 3 crab traps. Now, it didn't stay around to say thank you, it just took off, but that's a good sign, we're okay with that. So fortunately, we are actually able to identify dolphins by their dorsal fins so we can easily track and monitor them. And there are multiple agencies working together to complete a catalog of dolphin identification. And this is in conjunction with multi-agencies, including the University of North Florida and Jacksonville University, just to name 2. The dolphin in the bottom corner was successfully released. He was originally entangled downtown Jacksonville. And now to wrap it up here, I just want to finish with some of my favorite animals, the North Atlantic right whales. These animals come to our waters to calve December through March. And you can see how close they are to shore. Well, you may say, why are they in a presentation regarding the river? But in January 24th of 2011, we had a right whale enter the St. Johns River. And boy, was that chaotic. Caused a lot of money as all the ships were halted and delayed. So we definitely hope that never happens again. But I would like to invite all of you too to the Jacksonville Beach Right Whale Festival that we have every November. And in conclusion, just ask you to please put the FWC Wildlife Alert hotline in your phone, 1-888-404-FWCC, or pound FWC on your cell phone. Thank you very much.